Good afternoon, Haley Elementary. We've made it through another week. I want to first off start by saying thank you to the entire office staff as well as all the teachers and assistants that had to pull a little extra weight with me being out. Last week, I had the pleasure of working with Educational Testing Services on redesigning the Reading Specialist Praxis exam. So that's why I was out. I was in Princeton, New Jersey, and although it was not specific professional learning, I did learn a lot about literacy and want to dive in more to the international literacy standards as well as the International Dyslexia Association standards, as well as to identify some areas of how we can look at better supporting our non-readers. But with that being said, I want to move into what's coming up next week, the week of September 24th. We are getting back into vertical articulation. Kindergarten through first grade is meeting on September 24th, followed by not February 24th, September 24th. And then September 27th is grades 2-3. And then on September 28th, it will be grades 4-5. We'll be looking at math standards and really drilling down to vertically align the standard from a previous grade and how it correlates to the next grade, but also looking at the implications for process standards, prerequisites, and what changes to instruction must occur at each grade level to ensure that our students are ready to master the next set of standards. So that'll be those weeks next week. Also on Wednesday, we will have building-wide professional learning. We will be engaging in some opportunities around learning more about co-teaching. As you know, the interventionists have been in your classrooms, either being in there during the 90-minute block or during your intervention block. So we want to continue to strengthen and guide that work to make sure that we are using every teacher in our building to the highest levels to ensure the greatest outcomes for our students. Some other feedback that we've been receiving with the implementation of the new ELA curriculum has been around the use of assistants. So we also will use some of our time on Wednesday to discuss increasing their effectiveness, especially during that whole group time of the English language arts block. But remember that those conversations are two different conversations because interventionists operate differently when they are in the classroom than an assistant. They are there actually to be engaged in the teaching rather than assisting with the teaching. Then going into October, we will be having the Brandon Foundation here that'll be working with us again about just giving us strategies about trauma-informed care, as well as about sharing some opportunities for you to attend a local retreat to help kind of strengthen yourself as we work with a different group of students with diverse needs. That moves into also my conversation, and I just wanted to clarify some things that I had heard through talking with assistants and some teachers. By no means by us introducing trauma-informed care into our building or us working on establishing better relationships with our students, does that ever, and I want to be clear, that never was meant to send the expectation that we are lowering the expectations we have for our students and their behavior and the way they conduct themselves in school. Our PBIS is still well-grounded in being respectful, responsible, safe, and engaged, and that has not changed. What else has not changed is that we still have the FWCS School of Conduct that we are held in implementing with consistency and fidelity as best as possible. What trauma-informed care and relationship building skills are supposed to do is hopefully diminish the amount of times that we have to engage students in the code of conduct or into consequences because of the strong relationships that we have with students that we can quickly de-escalate situations. So I just want to make it very clear that that does not mean that you cannot correct students' behavior and that we should not be holding students accountable when we see them not meeting Haley expectations. So I want to be very clear. I don't want to mince words and you not understand that that is clearly my expectation, and I will continue to hold our kids to high expectations that are outlined in our PBIS matrix. Lastly, in the last couple of weeks, weekly updates, I have put the Indiana testing agreement link in there. Please make sure you get that signed so we don't have to come hunt you down there at the deadline. I know some of you may be used to getting some training prior to signing that document. However, that testing this year will occur only around the new iLearn assessment, which is replacing iStep, and then prior to us taking iRead 3. However, we need the Indiana testing agreement signed for other types of assessments that we're implementing, including DIBELS, TRC, and our new interim assessment that will be given at grades 3 through 5. Other than that, I have no other information. I take that back. I did miss one thing. I've started completing focus feedbacks this week, and the new process that I had sent out through a PowerPoint and some information that you received probably about a month ago outlined how we're using focus feedbacks differently. You can expect either myself or Miss Fowler will be in your room anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes observing your instructional practice. We will be rating at least 3 to 4 competencies on each visit, and then there will be a required follow-up conversation that we'll need to have, which should last about 15 minutes to discuss our feedback and set next steps for your continuous improvement. So again, we're not looking for everything and every competency. And also what I want you to be aware of is that you will probably see a lot more needs improvements in areas, and that's again because we're looking at how do we get you to continuously grow and use that feedback as a springboard to help guide your professional learning to improve instruction in your classroom. That does not mean that we look at you as being needs improvement overall in that competency, or if you should have some concerns about falling into the needs improvement range. If that is the case, then Natalie and I will have very clear and frank conversations around that and ways that we can support you, as well as the building coach and other district opportunities that we can use to support your instruction to ensure that you're in the year being effective. Other than that, I want to leave you all and have a great weekend. It sounds like we are finally getting fall weather, and I will see you all on Monday morning. Thank you.